When I moved to this house, my parents, they were like, very bad. And then we didn't have any money. We couldn't afford it. My mom, she couldn't work because after pregnancy, my dad, he couldn't find a job. She was like, you got your bright life. You have to believe it. Everything.
Wait, she said what? Wait, repeat
She
that.
said, you will bright.
You'll be bright.
Yeah, you will bright. So you are light, like a little diamond. She said, diamonds always grow under pressure. So don't forget, the pressure always is gonna make you shine. So that's always put me in my mind.
She used to say that to you. How old were you when she'd say things like that?
I was probably 7, 8, because it wasn't like in that time when I was like 12, like 13, 14, when my parents have that shop, our like economic situation, financial situation kind of changed, but another problems came with that because it was the first time we kind of had money.
Okay, so quickly before you go on, when you guys started the business there in Chile, it started doing well. Yeah. Because alcohol, that sells like crazy, you know what I mean? And when you said that, I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because what happened is like my father, he used to be like a seller, like salesman. So he always sells like ice cream or drinks, soft drinks, alcohol. So he have all these contacts. Also when he got fired, he had all these contacts, so they used the money to do this business. So it was well, but the management after that, it was shit. And then obviously another problems came, like my mom got pregnant in that time, and my dad, he kind of lost himself in terms of money, and because when you start having money, people come to you. And then they just drain you. So that's what happened with my parents.
Okay, so you guys are doing the business now. Things are going well. How old are you at this point?
Probably like a 14. It was very quick.
Quickly.
It was very yeah.
And your dad, what was his job?
So my dad, what happened is like my both parents, they meant to be in the shop, because he didn't have a job. So it was like, okay, we're gonna do this job, this shop.
No, I'm saying like before the shop. Before when he got fired. Oh, so he was
in different companies. He was used to work in like PepsiCo. Okay. Like another company that said alcohol. So he had all these contacts.
Okay, so you guys start this business. A year in, you're 13 years old. Things are pretty bad. You guys are poor. They get this idea. He gets the money from the job. So now you turn 14. What starts to happen when the money's coming? What was life like? And then let me ask you, what was their relationship like from your perspective, seeing mom and dad? Was there argument? Like, do you know what I mean?
So
on this path of life that I'm on right now, I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking about my financial future. How can I make important moves now that are going to impact me when I'm older? This video is sponsored by Rise. Every time you get an income, you can set weekly, monthly, daily investment goals. You can put aside money while you're growing and seeking the best future for yourself. For me, what I do is every week I have an amount and it puts the money into the stock market. It's all about compounded interest. The actions and the things that you do today are impacting your future. So for me to continually having that compounding interest of money being put away into the stock market, by the time I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, that amount is generational wealth. That is the power of compounded interest. It's always important to think about your future, always important to think about tomorrow and 20 to 30, 40 years from now. What Rise has done with the Rubasha Family podcast, they're going to give you $5 once you sign up with the Rise app and you're approved. You can start your financial journey today. None of this is financial advice. Hit the link in the description, get $5 into your account once you're approved, and get started on your investment journey today.
At the beginning, they were okay. I don't know, but everything it blew up I remember it was very quick because so many other things happened in like 5 years. So I remember it was very quick. So it was like using the money to live, to pay the expenses and this and that. But obviously, if you don't manage something well, it's gonna run out at some point, And my father started having like bad behaviors, like going with friends for drinks and this and that, making cool. I don't know, just, you never know what happened in their minds. So, and then my mom got pregnant. I remember that. And that was like the hit because she started like, big belly, and she had for my little brother. that was the last child.
The last one.
Yeah. And then my dad, he started having these bad behaviors, and then my mom got pregnant, and she had very bad like pregnancy. She got this like diabetes pregnancy or something, so it was a child number 4. So can you imagine my mom was child number 4? She said, oh yeah, I know how is this thing, so I can just start working and this and that, but it didn't happen in that way. It was very, very challenging pregnancy. It was very, very challenging.
So what was the issue that
She had like a diabetes.
diabetes?
Yeah.
While she was pregnant.
Yeah, so you have like a 50% you get it when you get pregnant. It's just for the period you are pregnant. I don't know, it's just something like that. So she got that, and then she started having like very bad like health issues. So obviously my dad, he was like kind of supporting 100%, and yeah. Anyway, so all this business at some point was fucked.
So when you say that, is because it's expensive.
It's expensive, and also it's not expensive. Also, you have to understand, it was like my mom pregnant with big belly, and then my dad, he wasn't like 100% into the business.
So who was working in the shop?
I was working in the shop
Every day.
every day after school in the cashier, and then someone else like behind to giving the alcohol, because I couldn't do that because I was underage, but I was in the cashier, and I remember that.
So and who was handling the money to give?
Okay, so that was the thing. So I was handling, and then if someone come to the shop to to say, oh, we need to pay this invoice.
Okay, mama will say, okay, you have to pay with this money. You have to do this and that.
And then sometimes, obviously, when I had to go to school, I used to go to school and this and that. But at some point, the monies are running out, and then you don't have money to invest in the inventory. So that's what is happening. You take too much profit, and then you don't know how to manage. That's how you run business. Anyway, so my mom, almost before she gave birth of my little brother, my parents almost they break up at that point, because it was hard. I remember we used to live in one house and we have to move to another one, and it changed. It's kind of like we went to like 10 steps backwards. Like they sell the shop because they couldn't afford it, because they have too many like debt.
So that they couldn't afford to buy the alcohol.
And then if you don't have a stock to sell, how are you going to pay the invoices?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Electricity, the rent. Were they renting the shop?
They rent the shop, they rent the house, and then obviously my part. It just, you make mistake as a human being. It's part of the thing. So I remember my mom decided to just kind of give up with this, because obviously she was like almost giving birth. So
Stress,
and then pregnancy, and then my dad, and then 3 children on the side. It's like, it wasn't hard. I remember one time, like for Christmas, holidays, all these big days, they have this little office, so you used to sleep there, because they had to work until like 4 or 5 in the morning. They couldn't, so we had to sleep in the office, because they couldn't let us sleep in the house, it was late. So I remember these little things. So anyway, after that, they closed the shop, and here's the thing.
We moved to this house. It was a little house, my mom decided to buy own for the baby, and obviously have some money on it, and then we moved to this house.
And when I moved to this house, my parents were like very bad, and then we didn't have any money. We couldn't afford it. My mom, she couldn't work because after pregnancy, and my dad, he couldn't find a job. So obviously, I think I was like a 14, almost 15.
I got some exciting news for you. If you're like us here at the Rubasha Family podcast, and like myself, we all about drink, we all about traveling in style. Now, this video is brought to you by Booking.com. Now, we all know when it comes to holidays, when it comes to choosing a destination and having the best extensive information and flexibility, Booking.com are going to do it for you. We've been able to plan so many holidays with our family, our friends, bringing love, bringing joy, bringing inspiration. Life is so precious. Life is so joyful. And you always want to do things with style. You always want to do things with such confidence and drip that you don't want to miss out. When it comes to looking for amazing accommodation, hotels, whatever it is, Booking.com is the place to go. I personally experienced it, and it's all about giving value and service to people's lives. Click the link in the description. You don't want to miss out on that. And let's get back to the video. If you have enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode.